For those of you who just joined, we'll be getting started at around 3 minutes after the hour, just so everybody's aware. Hi, Peter. Okay, it's noon, so we'll be getting started in about 3 minutes. I usually like to let people filter in within the last couple of minutes, so we'll be getting started at around 3 minutes after the hour, just so everybody's aware. For those of you just joining us, we'll get started in about 2 minutes. For those of you just joining, we'll get started in around 2 minutes. All right, everyone, final minute, and we'll be getting started at 12:03, just so everybody's on the same page. Hi, everyone. We'll be getting started here in just about a half a minute. It's 12:02. We'll be starting at 12:03. Just want to allow time for people to filter in a few minutes, and we'll get started right away. Okay. It is 12:03. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Daniel House Club Concierge Open Forum. We have this open forum that we conduct every month, the last Thursday of every month, 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. Pacific, noon until 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and all time zones in between, wherever you're located. This is really an opportunity not only for us to get feedback from all of you, but also for you to ask questions. And also it's meant to be sort of an educational component as well. We can advise you of any new features that we have on the site. We'll go through a brief training of the site as well. And like I said, just ask questions as you see fit. We also do have a special guest today. Her name is Jenna Gaidusek. She actually joined us back in January for our first open forum, and we're happy to have her back. She is an expert at AI as it pertains to interior design. She's an interior designer herself, and she's also going to be sharing with us some new information that she has, as well as information about her summer camp, which is coming up soon. And she's also given a special offer for all of our members to have $200 off her summer camp. So if you're interested in AI, she will be talking about that. She does have a hard stop, just so everybody knows, just a few minutes before 1 o'clock. So just from a housekeeping standpoint, if you have any pressing questions for her, definitely prioritize those. If you can wait until after her presentation to ask us any questions, that would be really appreciated. But as we go through the training, if you have questions of me, feel free to just raise your hand or talk, or you can also put questions directly into the chat function as well. I just want to introduce a couple of my colleagues. Peter Spalding is here. He's actually one of the co-founders of the company and also our Chief Creative Officer. Peter, you want to say hi?
Hey, thanks for being here. Welcome.
And we also have Renee Wyatt. She's with us. She's actually one of our concierge leads. Renee, you want to say hello?
Hey, everyone. So nice to see you guys today.
And also Phil Adams. He's actually also one of our new concierge leads, but gosh, he's been here for 90 days, so he's an old timer now.
Hi, everybody.
And Phil and I are actually in the same space, so sorry if there's a little bit of an echo there. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen out here. So I'm actually going to go off of video for right now, but I will still be here. We'll go ahead and I'm going to go through some basic site functionality. If you have questions, like I said, just let us know. You can either interrupt us or type a question into the chat, and Renee and Phil and Peter will be looking at that, and they can interrupt and let me know when there's any questions. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right. So this is our main homepage. I'm sure you're all familiar with this at this point. First and foremost, a couple of things I just want to point out relative to the site before you actually log in. You can actually click on our logo here and it takes you right back to our homepage at any time. There's also the top menu here where you can actually just go and shop items directly by category. We also have a section for new items and also in-stock items, as well as our vendor page. We also have our top vendors listed here, also artisan vendors. We are adding to this more and more, where we have very specialized vendors, which kind of fits with the ethos of our company, which is not only to be the easiest sourcing tool for you, but also bring you the most unique vendors as well. So that has some really great and interesting vendors that we're going to be adding to pretty consistently. This is our entire vendor list, of course, about 200 plus at this point. And then you can also look at the available on request. These are actually vendors who we are in the process of adding to our site, but you can still request items to be added to the site and purchased from. So this list, as you can imagine, is constantly changing because we are adding about 16 to 18 new vendors every quarter, depending. And then you can also request a vendor. So if you work with a vendor and if you source with them regularly and it's somebody that you don't see on our site or that we haven't worked with in the past, you can just click on the request a product or vendor, click on let us help you, and it'll actually take you right here. You can just fill in this form and it'll go right to our concierge services, and we will reply to let you know the status of that. So first and foremost, you want to be able to log into the site to see your pricing. This is kind of the beauty of our site. You don't have to send us a request to quote. You will see your pricing right away on the site. So here, if you just click login, you'll see the login menu here. You will also potentially see this Shop Pay pop-up window that comes up. If you've used Shop Pay in the past, that will be automatic. But you do not have to put in a code here in order to log into our site. You just literally click on the X here, and all that we require is your email address and your password. If you forget your password, you can also click the forget your password link, and we will email you a link to then reset your password accordingly. So then you just click sign in, and it's going to take you directly to your dashboard screen. So the dashboard screen gives a lot of information here. It shows your your 5 most recent projects. So I only have 3 here, but if I had 5, it would actually indicate them here. And then below that, it also gives you your cart summary. So this is when you've created a project and a board, you create a cart to then share out with your client or to check out yourself, and it will show you your cart summaries here. So these are all the carts that I've created, and it'll also show you whether or not, first of all, there was an order placed, also to who it was sent, the amount, as well as what your profit is on the cart itself. And then there's a couple of different icons over here to see whether or not the cart has been viewed, whether or not it's been purchased, and also whether or not it's shipped. Obviously, if they are not bolded, that means that they have not been viewed, they have not been purchased, and not shipped. You can also delete a cart. Deleting a cart does not mean that you're deleting the board that you created the cart from. It's just deleting that particular cart. And then if you look over here in the menu, you can actually click on projects to go to your projects page. You can click on an individual project, or you can look at all of your projects. So it's not just going to show your 5 most recent projects. It's actually going to show all of your active projects. There's also a couple of different help items here. So you can start a claim if you have a claim, whether it be a damage or defect claim or a warranty claim. You can do that from this page. We also have a link to our most frequently asked questions, our how-to videos, which are really helpful. These are actually YouTube videos to kind of get you started, how to create a project, how to create a board. We're going to go through that today, but it's also a good reference point.
Hey, Robert, a quick question.
Sure.
In the chat, can you confirm that each cart needs to have items that need to be shipped the same way?
Oh, sure. Yes. So right now that is correct. We don't have the ability to pull individual line items out from a cart to ship it a different way. So if you wanted to have something shipped standard versus rim of choice or white glove, yes, it is by cart right now. We are in the process of developing our tool so that not only that can change by line item, but also the discount can change by line item. So right now, everything is just 1 discount per board, and then you create a cart accordingly. But we will be having the ability for you to choose which particular items you want to have a different discount for. That will be forthcoming, hopefully either by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new project here. I'm just going to click on the red button over here on the right for new project. And again, I just have this information autofilled, but you can type it in, of course. This is actually your client's first name, their last name, the email address, also a brief descriptor. Just know that when we name a project, it pulls from the last name. So if you wanted it named a particular way, you can put whatever you want to in here, but this is what we use as the first name for a project name on the site. At this point, you can also set a blanket discount for the entire project if you wish. So let's just say for purposes of this project, I'm only going to share 10% of my 50% discount. That means that my client will get a 5% discount and my profit margin will be 45%. I can change this whenever I want to. I can also change it when I create a project board, and I can also create it once I create a cart. So if you spent an inordinate amount of time on a particular board, maybe a particular room, etc., you can actually change your discount accordingly at really any point. You can put in your total project as well as your FF&M budget. These are not required fields, but often nice to have. The target install date, this is really nice for our purposes as well as your purposes. But if you're ever asking our concierge services to assist you with product selection, we can go in, you can point us to the project board, and it's very easy for us to then determine by what your install date is, what products we recommend to you. So we do like to have that information, and it's just good, I think, information for you to have as well. Obviously, site address is this field. The address field is the next field that we take for the project name. So it's the last name combined with the site address, and then a phone number, and then you just click Create Project. And what this will do is this will create the blanket project, and then I can create boards by either clicking on New Board or clicking on Create a New Board, the hyperlink here, to then basically parse out all of the boards that I want to do. So a lot of folks will do this by room name. Some folks will do it by vendor. If they want to have a specific vendor, they can create a board by vendor. It's really however you want to organize yourself. or by category, like bed linens here. Let's just say I'm going to look at, for purposes of this particular demonstration, I'm just going to look at bed linens. It's kind of appropriate because we have our linen sale starting today, by the way. And I'm probably not going to spend a whole heck of a lot of time looking at bed linens, but maybe I do. And I can, again, change my discount here if I want to, or just leave it the same. I create the board by clicking the red button. And now I'm within the board, and I can see that this is the project that I just created, and this is the board that I just created. So if we scroll down here, a couple of things I can do. I can just click on the Get Started link here and shop, or I can just start shopping directly by going to the linens, and I'm going to look under bed and bath, and let's just look at quilts and coverlets.
Hey, Robert, another quick question in the chat.
Sure.
What are the privacy settings for our client's info? How does DHC use the information?
Sure. So the privacy settings for your client is that they will receive information about their orders, but they will never be signed up for marketing. So they will only receive if you share a project board cart with them to then have them check out directly through our website. They will only receive emails regarding their orders. They will not be automatically enrolled for any sort of marketing. So for this, this now takes you to the product information page. A couple of things I just want to point out here. We always have estimated arrival times as opposed to estimated production lead times. So this actually will be when you receive it, not how long it's going to take for the item to actually be made. So again, I can just add this to the cart if I'm not associating it with any project, or if I want to add it to the board that I just created, I will just click Add to Board. This is the project that I just created along with the board for bed linens. I click on that, it says now added, and that has been added to that particular board. A couple of things I also just want to look at as long as we're at the product information page. You can also look at weight and dimension information for any product, any other specifications that we have, as well as care instructions, what our shipping policies are, and also what our return policy is. This is very important because we do have still a handful, probably 5 or 6 vendors who do not accept returns. I know in this day and age, it's kind of strange that vendors do not do that, but there are some that don't. So as you're sourcing, as you're adding particular items, just double check the return policy if you feel that returns may be of issue with your client. All right. So I'm going to go back and look at my project that I just created as well as the board. And then you'll be able to see the quilt and coverlet that I just added by just clicking on the board here. And again, this will only show the amount that you've shared with your client. That's the only thing that they will be able to see. They are not going to be able to see what your total discount is. It will show the MSRP or the MAP price, depending on what price the vendor gives us. And then it will show whatever discount you have shared with them, not your total discount. Similarly, when they receive the item, they will not receive an invoice. They will only receive a packing slip, and it will not have any pricing information on it. So they will never know what your price was for this particular item, unless, of course, you share your entire discount with them, which I would assume you would not want to do. So a couple of things here. I'm ready to go ahead and check out. So I can click on the checkout button here. There's a couple of things that we've added here functionality-wise that are really great, primarily based on usage that we've heard not only from our client advisory board, but from all of you directly. So you have the ability to check out as your client, and you can check out with your client's credit card. So if they're just kind of like, hey, I don't have time to deal with this, I don't want to check out on my own, can you just go ahead and do it for me? You can click on check out with my client's card, or you can just go ahead and click this with checking out your card. Now what that will do is that will take your entire discount, because that means that you're purchasing it. And so there's no profit margin here. You're just taking the entire discount here. and then you're basically invoicing them offline. And then you also have the ability to send this to a client as well. So if you wanted them to check out on their own, you can click send to my client to check out again, or check out with their credit card by clicking on checkout with my client's card. Now, all this being said, if you are in a collaborative stage where you're just not ready to transact yet, you can click on the share button here. And what this does is this will share this particular board with your client without any sort of transactional component or any editing capability. So they won't have the ability to edit things out. It's literally just a share board, sort of like a mood board, or, well, I guess it's a little bit farther along than a mood board or inspiration board, but really it's meant to be collaborative as opposed to transactional. So you can use the platform to do that by just putting in your client's email address and putting in a message. Also, you can share it with or without pricing by just clicking these radio buttons here, or you can click the copy link with or without pricing, and it will copy that board link that you can just input into an email. So if you didn't want to do it through the platform, you have the ability to just do it on your own and click copy link and share it that way. So I always say there's sort of the first stage of being collaborative, and then the second stage of actually checking out and being transactional, where you're in essence sending them a cart, which sort of acts as a pro forma or a quotation being sent to them for them to be able to check out, or for you to be able to check out as well on their behalf. Now, I can go in and I can make any changes that I need to. So let's just say we've already done the collaborative portion, and I want to check out with my client's card. So I'm going to click that. I can select as many boards as I want to. So if I've created 10 boards for a client, I can select all of them, or I can select some of them. We click create cart. And then again, as I mentioned prior, you do have the ability to change your discount whenever you want. So if you spent more time on this, I'm only going to share 5% of my discount with the client. So that means the client only gets a 2.5% discount. And then we ship within the US and Canada. So let's just say for purposes of this, we're going to be shipping within the US. We have many different options for shipping: residential curbside, expedited curbside, room of choice with packaging removal, and then also white glove. So a couple of things here. Expedited curbside is literally expedited curbside. It does not mean that they will bring the item into the home. It's getting it to curbside or to a threshold, and that's it. So if you need to have the item brought into the home or into an apartment, we recommend using room of choice. Room of choice is great if you have an item that doesn't require assembly. If it requires assembly, then probably white glove would be the best thing to do if you want it to be assembled. That's only if you want it to be assembled. The flip side to this would be if you're sending to a receiver, there's no need to send room of choice or white glove. You can send it either residential curbside or expedited curbside directly to your receiver. You do have the ability to just put a side mark as the address to line when you check out, and then we'll go ahead and arrange it to be sent to your receiver. One of the nice things about working with us, however, as you can imagine, is you can also ship to residential addresses, which a lot of these vendors do not allow you to do if you're working with them directly. And the reason for that is that we actually handle the shipping for you. So we work with a shipping partner that has a nationwide reach called Freight Club. They work with many local and regional freight companies. And then also for smaller items, we ship via FedEx and UPS. So smaller side tables, lamps, light fixtures, things like that that can ship UPS and FedEx. They handle all of that for us as well. We work with them because they have a very easy claims process. So if there ever is an issue, which inevitably there will be, there always is in our business, just let us know and we contact them directly. They have a very simple, quick claims process, and we can get a replacement out or a refund or whatever we need to do to make sure that we can meet your install date.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
Question about shipping.
Yeah.
If items are ordered at the same time but arriving separately, will there only be one room of choice charge?
Yes, always. We never charge duplicate for things that arrive separately. We also are looking into doing a pilot with Freight Club for freight consolidation. That is several months away. It's actually something that has been requested, and it's kind of something that we want to be competitive enough with, and also have Freight Club have the experience doing, so that it will somewhat compete with the need for having a receiver or not. So look for more information on that coming in the next several months. But yes, no, you would never be charged twice once you check out. Once you check out, that shipping charge is what you pay, and that's it. We never surprise you with anything in addition to that. Okay, so I'm just going to click on residential curbside here, go to preview cart. Again, I can still edit my cart. So if maybe I just accidentally included some item here, I can remove it if I need to. I can change the quantities here, etc. And then just click checkout. And then it's going to take me to the checkout screen. And I'm not going to check out because I'm not purchasing this item. But again, the little shop pay window comes up here. So if you want to use your shop pay points, you can definitely do that. If not, you just X out of the window, and then you can actually check out on your own. I will let you know, one of the things about using Shopify as sort of our back end is that they do autofill shipping addresses. And sometimes we've had some instances where some of our clients have clicked through it too quickly and they've selected an incorrect shipping address. So just be careful, because you do have the ability to edit it at any time before you place the order. But with Shopify and Shop Pay, it autofills rather quickly. So just be mindful of that. Any questions? We're at about 26 minutes after the hour, and I do want to allow enough time for Jenna to come on. She'll be joining us in about 3-4 minutes, but I'm happy to take any questions at this point. If not, then we can go through a few more functionality of the site as well.
One more question in the chat, Robert.
Sure.
Do you mean to set up an account with ShopPay?
No.
Okay.
No, ShopPay is not required. But if you want to use ShopPay, not trying to tout or market ShopPay in any way, but they do have a point system. So if you wanted to use it, feel free, but it's not a requirement. Great. So a couple of other things I just want to mention as far as once you place an order. So when you place an order, you'll receive an immediate order confirmation. The order confirmation will have all of the items that you've ordered, as well as the price accordingly. And then within 48 to 72 hours, you'll receive a vendor confirmation email. And what that is that means the vendor has confirmed the order. They have given us an estimated ship date, and now we're communicating that to you. Most of our vendors are very good about getting that information to us very quickly. There are a few that we have to wait a little extra time, but usually it's no more than about 2 or 3 days to get that information. So you'll get the immediate order confirmation, the vendor confirmation email, and then you'll also receive a weekly, what we call our open order report. That is sent to you at 9 a.m. Eastern every Wednesday morning. It will give you up-to-the-minute information on your estimated ship dates for your orders. If you have any questions about it, you can always ask us. But that is the most accurate and updated information that we have on a weekly basis from the vendors who you placed your orders with. Now, the other thing is that once the item ships, we will send you a shipment notification email, which will have the package details, the tracking details, all of that information that you can click through directly to either FedEx UPS or directly to the freight webpage, and you can actually see the progress of your item. Some of the freight companies actually do allow you to contact them ahead of time when the item has not even been delivered to their terminal yet to set up the delivery. Just know that sometimes there are, issues with weather and other things that might delay them. But you can always see that information directly on their website. And then we also send you a couple days later, we send you sort of a how to prepare for your delivery email. And that also has a very helpful video on how to do that as well. And I only mention this because it's very helpful to know what to look for. especially for things when you're looking for damages, any sort of defects, things like that. We need to know within 7 business days of any sort of damage or defect. More vendors are becoming more and more strict with their policies around this. So if you have an install date that's 6 months out and you're getting furniture, don't wait 6 months to let us know if there's a damage or a defect. Let us know immediately, either if it's being shipped to your client or if it's being shipped to you. Obviously, if it's being shipped to a receiver, the receiver will let you know. If they're a reputable receiver, they will let you know, and they will also send you photos of any issues as well. You work with us on any sort of claims whatsoever, whether it be damage, defect, or down the line with warranty claims. We coordinate all of that for you. We don't push you back on the vendor. That's part of our full service, and that's part of what our concierge services team does for you.
2 more quick questions, Robert, from the chat. What do we see if our clients are ordering with our links, and do our clients get that weekly report when they're ordering on their own?
Sure. So what you see is you will also receive an order confirmation. You'll also receive the open order report when somebody has ordered something on your account. And then they will also receive an order confirmation. They'll also receive the open order report, only with their orders, of course, not with any of your other clients' orders, just their orders. But they will also receive that on a weekly basis as well. Similarly, if they checked out, they will also receive the shipment confirmation as well as the how to prepare for your delivery as well.
Robert, if an item is unpackaged and damage is noticed, can we refuse the delivery?
Yes, you can refuse the delivery. One thing I do recommend, though, is not refusing it. And here's the reason why. If you refuse it, it can go and it can get lost back at the delivery agent's warehouse. Sometimes they, put them in on a loading dock. Who knows? It's nice to have the item there with you. That way you can take proper pictures or a video to let us know what the issue is. However, I live in a New York City apartment. I know space is limited. So if you just don't have the space, obviously we don't require that you keep the item. You can certainly refuse it and just let us know. Just send us an email to our concierge email and say, hey, Robert, this item arrived damaged. I refused it. Can you guys coordinate a replacement or whatever you want to do? So we'll handle that accordingly. Okay, it is 12:32 and we have Jenna on with us. Hi, Jenna. Oh, I think you're muted maybe. It shows that you're not muted, but we can't hear you.
Microphone?
There we go. There we go.
Oh, Mike, how's it going?
All right. Well, great.
All
Everybody,
right.
this is Jenna. Is it Gaidusek? I'm sorry if I mispronounced.
Gaidusek. It's all good.
Gaidusek. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So Jenna, actually, I met Jenna back in December, November timeframe
Yeah.
at an IDS event that she was presenting at, and I just fell in love with her. And I was like, you need to come and talk to our members because they can definitely benefit from all that you're bringing to the table. And so she joined us at our January meeting, and she's here to join us again. She will also come back again and join us. But I'm just going to go ahead and kind of give this over to you, Jenna. You can give yourself an introduction. And I also mentioned briefly at the beginning about your summer camp, but you can also mention as well. So.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. It was so nice. I also got to meet Peter and Alex in Scottsdale a couple months ago. So really nice to meet everybody finally.
We had fun together.
We did. I can't wait for the next one. All right. I did a special presentation for you all today, something I have literally never shared before, and it is all about how to basically make a more efficient sourcing process using Daniel House Club. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show a few different techniques today. Some are AI, some are not AI. So you might be familiar with what this looks like. Sorry, let me just find the right tab that I'm looking for. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to hide myself, I think. If I just turn off my camera, will it hide me so you guys can see my screen bigger? Maybe not. Okay. I don't know what you guys can see. I'm used to Zoom.
I think the scale is good on my screen. So
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
great.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Now I just need to figure out how to change my slides. So sorry about that. Let me just get to that screen. Okay. Are you seeing my slide change? Can you just confirm that?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So hi, I'm Jenna Gaidusek. I formerly started a company called eDesign Tribe, which also came with a rendering software and online classes for interior designers. That was acquired by my Doma Studio back in 2022. So now I have all this free time where I get to learn about all the latest and greatest in AI tech and how it applies to my own business as an interior designer, which I got to get back to after my company was acquired. So all of that to say, today I'm going to share some of my tips and tricks with you to faster source for your projects. So I just want to start with, if you are new to AI, here are my top programs. You're welcome to screenshot this if you'd like to, but today I'm going to be talking about ChatGPT and MidJourney, okay? And then mostly Daniel House Club after that. A little bit of this is also in Canva, just because I did a design board from what I sourced in Canva by the end. So these are my everyday go-to, either AI entirely, like ChatGPT, or AI-infused day-to-day programs. All right. There are tons of AI programs out there. It's just best that we don't get bogged down with all of those things sometimes. So that's why I like to share my core programs. All right, I know I only have half an hour, so I am going to talk a little faster than normal today, but I'm going to start this with some MidJourney AI-inspired images that I created, okay? So what we have here is basically this house that I created of inspirational images that you could potentially be sharing with a client to start a project and make sure that you're on the same page for the design and how everything should look. Now, very important information that I have to get started with before I continue is the limitations of AI where we currently sit right now. Now, it is moving rapidly. So what I'm telling you today, by the end of the summer, could be like insanely out of date. Okay, so just know that, especially with ChatGPT 5 releasing right around the corner. So right now, generative text to image prompting, like those images I just showed you using MidJourney, and also those that you can create using Dolly, which is inside of ChatGPT, the Plus account. Those are honestly just purely for inspiration at this point. The main reason being why is there's copyright restrictions to using actual products in these AI generative text images. So you cannot get the actual products at this point in time, but they will give you look-alike products to things that you could potentially go out and find. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So it's a great starting point, but know that if you're like, oh, I want this, I don't know, I'm trying to use one of your brands, and you want this Burkhardt sofa, it just might not always be looking exactly like that because copyright restrictions. Same with pillows, textiles, rugs. It's just not going to be the same. The other thing about AI currently, where we sit, is that it's not pulling live updates from the internet. Okay, so it might take a website and it might be able to give you a summary, especially if it's not a blocked website. But typically, the information is not going to be fully up to date because ChatGPT 4 was only trained on information through last year of 2023. So it's not fully up to date with the current information. So you might see things where it's like live web searching. And yes, that is kind of a true thing about ChatGPT, but I'm going to show you where the limitations are today when we start to actually look for products that are in our images. The last part here, which is not AI, but Google and Pinterest image searches, if you were to like reverse image search a picture that you're using for inspiration, they primarily just go to retail sites. So if you've ever tried to do that to like start your sourcing and try and find products that might be in your inspirational imagery, chances are you're going to go to a retailer site. And we are looking for wholesale and the ones that Daniel House Club actually carries so that we can place our orders and make our shopping lists. So today I'm going to show you 3 different ways to expedite your sourcing using AI, from conceptual AI imagery to product recommendations, all via ChatGPT. But before I get to that, I do want to show you 2 ways that you may have already been doing this before ChatGPT existed. So you have always been able to, well, I won't say always, but for the past like 4 years, you've been able to upload a picture, maybe your picture, or source, reverse image search other pictures that you see on Pinterest, and you can find products. Pinterest is a search engine. It's a visual search engine, and that's kind of been its thing.
Jenna, we lost you on audio. Oh, we might have lost Jenna.
Bye, Jenna. I was so excited. I was learning so much. 1 second.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, just now we can. Yeah, we lost you for about 45 seconds, probably.
Weird, it muted itself. So let me open up and re-share.
It was right at the meaty portion too.
Yeah. All of a sudden it beeped and then it was like, bye. So we'll bring that right back up here. Okay. Just gonna move you there, and then I should have this. So I'm not gonna be in presentation mode, but that's all right. You'll still be able to see it. I think that stopped it for me. So what you can see here, and forgive me if I did already say this or if I am a little bit further ahead, but when you do this Pinterest search, this is an image that I had put on my private secret account. I didn't share this publicly, but I just did it for searchability purposes. So I uploaded this image that I created in MidJourney to my private Pinterest board, and then I reverse image searched it looking for similar products to what I see here. Again, this is something that we have been able to do for years, but you'll see right here, this one actually goes to a Jaipur rug. And who carries Jaipur rugs? Daniel House Club does. So I was able to go in and find that exact rug that it pulled in that reverse image search and be able to source this one as a product. Okay, so that is a Pinterest option. That is something that we've been able to do to quickly source products for a very long time. All right, it's a great place to begin to cut down on our sourcing time. Now, reverse image Google search has also been able to do that for a while too, right? So you can upload it into Google Lens, either from your phone or your desktop. And right here, you're finding something from my AI image that is a Regina Andrew sconce. So because I found that there, I searched the name, and Daniel House Club also carries that one. So finding these products using a visual search, using these search engines from inspirational imagery cuts down on sourcing time, okay? It gets you to a product that is similar, that you can at least be in the right range for, so that you can start looking for lookalike products or things that actually fit your measurements. Something else that AI does not currently do is actually read measurements. So none of these are accurate, these inspirational pictures that I'm showing you. So because of that, that's why we're looking for things that might look like what shows up in these pictures that we can create. Now, this is where the AI part comes into play, and this is pretty wild, so get ready. ChatGPT, you can technically build customized GPTs, or you can give it website information. Now, if I wanted to look for the things that I see in this kitchen, such as the pendants or these bar stools, all I have to do is start a conversation in ChatGPT. Now, I technically did a custom Daniel House Club GPT last night. So I need to talk to you guys about that one later, because there's some fun potential for you. But this one is just using your old data on the Daniel House website. Meaning, remember when I said ChatGPT was only trained on information through 2023? It is not live and updated right now. But a lot of those products are still in stock. So what I did was I took that picture, I opened up my custom GPT here, and I just said, find what you see in this picture. And I've actually put on the back end all of the landing pages for Daniel House Club so that you can go in and find products. So what it did was it gave me a list of good, better, best, because that's what I asked it for, good, better, best list of potential solutions for what it sees in this picture that I just uploaded. So you can see a few here, and then I ask it for this information, and it provides that for me. Now, at first it forgot to give me the bar stools or the pendant lights, and only gave me bar stools. So I was like, hey, can you just, finish doing what I asked you to do? So it did. And then I got this downloadable. I can download this table here as a spreadsheet, and it gave me links. It gave me descriptions. It gave me, which is probably now out of date, but pricing options as well.
Hey, Jenna, we're still looking at a picture of a beautiful kitchen.
Okay.
So we're not seeing your table.
1 second, thank you.
I do have goosebumps about this, but
we need to talk after this.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially with your partner, Robert. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I uploaded my picture, and then because I programmed this on the back end of this custom GPT using literally just website links to Daniel House Club, it now pulled and sourced only from your website. Okay, so only from here, we're going to get counter stools, we're going to get options for lighting, and then I've requested that it gives me a downloadable spreadsheet. So this, let me see if I can change my, I got to stop presenting on that one and switch over to this one. Oh, Google, and you're sharing. There we go. So here's the spreadsheet that it gave me. Okay. Now, it is important to know what I said a few times. This is not up to date. Okay. This is not pulling directly from live data on the website. It's also not pulling from what you can see with your trade discounts. Okay. So it is pulling from the retail portion of the site, not your private stuff. You'd have to be logged in for that, and it can't access. So what you see here, I can click on these links and I can go to those products, and it's going to show me something that looks very similar. So I just clicked one, but now I got to switch gears here. I'll show you my design board. So I basically went through that spreadsheet that it provided me, and I started to create a design board based off of these images and links that it gave me. Okay, so here's everything that I saved from that conversation. So here was all of the recommendations that it provided, all within the same design style, so that I have a starting point for my sourcing. Okay. Only 2 of that list that I showed you was actually out of date. So that was actually a really good list and a good search. Sometimes you're going to find things that are just, out of stock entirely. Like I've done full lists that I was practicing on, and almost everything was out of stock. So it is hit or miss just because of the nature of how the program was trained. Okay, so hopefully this summer we're going to see some live updates. This is also something we could talk about to train on raw data. But here is another conversation that I had. I'm going to show you another example. So this is the living room, again, an AI MidJourney image. As a starting point, let's say that the client liked this one. So now I had this conversation with the GPT. I'm going to stop sharing, and I will show you what that conversation looks like. Just going to find the right tab. I think, yeah, that's that one. Okay. So this one I did using that room. And then I basically just gave it a list of everybody that I wanted to source from. And then it gave me the spreadsheet, and it gave me an itemized option for every single thing that we see here. I'm having some computer screen issues at the moment, so please bear with me if you can't see it. Okay, so it's giving me, I hope that you guys can see this, it's giving me full itemized lists here. And then
we can see it.
Okay, and then I can, yeah, and then I can click it and go and find those products, or at least look for something that's similar to those products. That is a great starting point. So I've got just a few more examples, and then I will take any questions. I know I am cramming a lot into half an hour, but
We already have a few questions,
Okay.
so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to turn off my other screen because it just blanked out on me. So we'll just keep rolling. Go ahead with those questions while I'm doing this.
Sure. So one question was, and this is not really to do with ChatGPT, but it's more about the benefits of Pinterest versus Google. What do you believe the benefits of reverse image searching in Pinterest versus Google are?
I've gotten better results for actual trade vendors in Pinterest, even if they might come from a retail site. I found better options than Google, because Google promotes people that pay them. I
Right.
think Pinterest does too, but they promote the same people that pay them all the time. So it's like those really big retailers.
Yeah, and Pinterest is, in my experience, much more encyclopedic. It's like a very good resource to
Yeah.
find not only what you're looking for, but also ideas around that as well.
Yeah, it'll
So-
give you some other options that look very similar. There we go. Okay.
And then we also had one question about ChatGPT,
Okay.
and that was, let's see, how do we start our own ChatGPT?
So you can, I mean, you could literally do these things in 3 minutes. It's definitely not something I have time to train right now in 7 minutes. I am training it during AI summer camp. We are literally going to build a whole bot army. So whatever you might need. I do have a podcast episode about it if you wanted to listen to that after this. But yeah, it takes about 3 minutes to make your own.
Great. And one thing that several of our members have chatted about is, would you mind sharing what your prompts were to get this information that you downloaded, or that you downloaded into the CSV file in particular?
Yeah, that's it wasn't really a prompt, it's a conversation. So for instance, this one here is a conversation where I worked backwards. So here's how it started. I gave it a flat lay design board, and I said, design a living room around this color palette, source all the living room furniture and decor that I need with a total cart budget of $25,000. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think the thing that is the most revolutionary in my context, because I'm not an IT person, and I know a lot of people on this call are not as well, is that you literally have a conversation with the ChatGPT, like you're having a conversation right now with us.
yeah.
And it will pull that data out, and then you can basically kind of burrow down and make further selections from that. So yeah, so it's quite an amazing tool.
Yeah.
To use.
Here's that conversation right here. So because this one I have taught on the back end, like when I ask you to do this, you do that. Okay. So when I gave it the image and I said, here's what it is, and I even provide it with a budget. Now the next thing is that it sources, and then it gives me the list, because that's what it's been instructed to do. So just like what you were saying, Robert, it is native language is what they call it, and that is human language. So it's doing its best to understand how you speak. Though it might be a robot, it's understanding human conversation, and it's going to get even better with the updates. So that was it. You know, these are the things I say. So list all the main furniture items with a good, better, best option. That was the only sentence that prompted this.
Yeah, and also I think the more specific you get, the better, because it just narrows down your options. So, and if you're not seeing what you want, then you can tell it to narrow it down even more. So yeah.
It is a little trickier because we are not like live connected to the internet technically with this one. So it is pulling that the older SKUs and some things that are discontinued, but it still gets you in a place where you can start sourcing and cut this down. So let me give you a real life example, because I did this last night. So I did that last list that I just showed you. And then I looked for the products that it recommended based off of that concept board. And here's the products that I could find. 2 of them were like similar looking products because they were out of stock. Everything else was still there for the product list that it recommended. This took me less than 20 minutes to do 2 different sourcing options based off a flat lay conceptual image. Okay. Granted, we don't have any accessories. They're just main pieces, but 20 minutes is a really good time savings. So then I just took the images here based off this flat lay board with the products that I selected. And I just made this super fast Canva board today. And that took maybe 7 minutes to do these 2 different concepts.
Yeah, I'm going to I was chatting with Peter about this because we're coming up with our Founders Day sale next month. And a couple of us that are internal here are coming up with collections, curated collections of
Cool.
items. And so I'm going to use ChatGPT to come up with my collection. And I think when we do that, when we send out that marketing email to everybody, I'll let everybody know what I used for ChatGPT, so that they can in turn kind of have a look at it and maybe experiment a little bit.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I realized that I was not sharing. So here's all those product boards. This is everything that I saved, created a project for it. Design board done in Canva in 7 minutes in the second one.
Great.
Okay. There's some summer camp info. So any other questions that I can answer for you?
I know you have a hard stop at 12:58 precisely, Jenna. So
I did teach rendering after this.
you want to be mindful of that. But yes, if anybody has any questions, we have about 3 minutes or so. You can ask Jenna directly. I did also want to reiterate, Jenna will have, as she's mentioning here, her summer camp. For Daniel House Club members, you can save $200 on the summer camp by using the code SUMMER200. Highly recommend doing this. It saves so much time, and it's just amazing. The technology is also in its infancy, so you can just imagine what it's going to be like, come even a year or two from now. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Rebecca wants a prompt. Hold on, I have it. I can grab it for you and put it in chat. Okay, it is a basic prompt that I used here. You ready? It's a good one. That's it. That's all I put in MidJourney.
Wow.
Summer camp for you all with the $200 off will be $299, and it's actually a 5-week program. So really good promo that I'm trying to extend to you guys.
What is the start date for summer camp?
Summer camp starts on July 16th.
Okay.
Yep. And so it's over the course of 5 weeks. If you can attend all 5 weeks, that'd be great. But they are only 2-hour sessions, not just for interior designers. This way it could be opened up to like marketing people or people with teams. And you just kind of get to dive in, and we're going to have some fun with some projects too, but you get to learn and apply everything every single week.
Yep. Just a couple more. Is your camp just for designers?
Nope. It is for everybody.
Great. And Allison, she put the prompt in the chat functionality, which you can access.
It is design a cozy living room in the design style of amber interiors. It was super basic.
Great.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Jenna. It's always fun to see you. I mean, like another 3 months maybe, and we'll have you back, I hope.
Yeah, would love to. Yeah.
Actually, in time for fall buying season, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
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 Every time we have you, I leave thinking, man, I have so much learning to do.
Yeah.
I could be doing my job so much more efficiently. So
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. I got to go run and teach some render training. So
All right.
thank you
Well,
guys.
thank you, Jenna.
Thanks for your time.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, and then for everybody who is who's still on, so we will be recording this. We record all of these sessions, and we will be posting it to our club bulletin section on our website. So it'll likely be included in a future email update, a marketing email that you get from us. But all of the videos for all of our past sessions, as well as for future sessions, will always be available on the club bulletin link on our website. So if you missed anything, if you forget anything, it's just a good reference point to have. We also have the transcript from the video, so that's nice to have as well sometimes. So yeah, all of that will be available. We are at time, and I think this is the first time we've actually finished right at 1 o'clock. We usually go over by a few minutes, so I am exceedingly happy. If anybody has any questions, I strongly encourage everyone to reach out to our concierge services team, myself, Renee, Phil, etc. We're always around to answer any questions. We are also always available to schedule one-on-one meetings with you, either by phone or by video call. Sometimes those are really helpful. We've seen those on the uptick quite frequently because we've had so many new members coming on board. And then also, of course, we have these open forums, and they are really meant for all of you. So, we really encourage you to participate and also actively ask questions during these. But if there's just something that you have that's specific to a project, whatever, just let us know and shoot us an email, and we can set up a meeting separate, just tailored to you and to what your needs might be. I always like to close this out by just saying that Concierge Services is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We are available via phone or email or live chat on the website during those hours. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always available, and we look forward to seeing you again next month, hopefully. Take care, everyone, and have a good start to summer.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.